Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to another episode of the Arsenal Live. And today's topic, by the title already, I probably know, is the top 32 quarterbacks entering the 2022 season. Almost about the season. So at number 30, I'm on my list right here too. But number 32 and 31 is kind of like a bundle thing. It's kind of like the et ceteras. Because like at 32, so we have starting quarterbacks. So they have like, basically Cal Trask is kind of starting with the Buccaneers since Brady retired, or Blaine Gabbert, one of them guys. And then you got a lot of like group of guys like Andy Dalton, who's not going to start probably next year. And Nick Foles, who's not going to start probably next year either. And you got a bunch of other guys too in that rim. Troy Taylor, I don't know if he's starting or not. I know Davis Mills took over and stuff. And then you got the Panthers QBs. The Panthers QBs, Cam Newton, PJ Walker, Sam Darnold. I have no idea what they got going over there. They had them taking snaps different quarters and stuff. They kind of Panthers got messed up over there. Cam Newton's a former MVP. PJ Walker's solid and he's all right. Sam Darnold, he fooled some people. He fooled some of us. You know, some of you guys that are watching, y'all ain't get fooled by it because he beat some mediocre teams like the Jets and stuff like that. Like, no one got fooled by that. But he fooled some people and they picked up his fifth-year option. I don't know why they did that. I would have waited. Just wait it out. Yeah, you already got paid for Teddy Bridgewater contract that you still have on your salary hit. And you pay him all that money. And he's not on your team no more. Then you got to pay Sam Darnold now too. Just wait it out. Like the organization, the Panthers organization is just bad. So those here the 31 and 32 spots. Now moving on to the next three. We got Mason Rudolph at 30. We got Zach Wilson at 29. And we got Tua Tagovailoa at 28. Mason Rudolph at 30. And really these guys can go either way. They can go either way. Like they basically, they all bracketed together, kind of like that too, because they can go either way. Because Tua, I give him above them because he had a larger sample size. He played this season, a lot of games this season, a lot of games last season, so he have a larger sample size. Zach Wilson, he was injured in and out of the lineup, and he didn't look so well. He looked better when he came out the injury, but he didn't look like too big of an improvement from these guys. And Mason Rudolph, he's 5-4-1 as a starter, and you can give him the benefit of the doubt in saying that he didn't have his he had a receiving core because Juju was in and out when he first came in. No, he first had to play his second season. And after Blue, Big Ben got hurt from a non-contact injury, had to come in and play. So his receiving core was injured. James Conner was injured and stuff. The defense was playing real good though, but I feel like Mason Rudolph's not a game changer like quarterback. That's why in the previous video I was like, we can't Mason Rudolph. I would be like, I don't know if he's trying to get. I hope we try. Like we built the whole team around him. Everything around him is perfect. The running game, the O-line is nice. The defense is back to what it was. Yeah, it might work, but I feel like I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable making Rudolph being the quarterback and coming forward. But you never know what can happen. Maybe he'll improve. I don't know, but hopefully he can go out and seek somebody. Like James Winston be perfect. But back to the topic, Mr. Rudolph. I still don't like the fact that he got outplayed by an undrafted quarterback, Devlin Hodges. They both. You can't have no excuses. Be like, well, nah, because that was Devlin Hodges' rookie season. He was undrafted rookie, free agent. He came and he outplayed you, and he took your spot. And I'm like, yeah. And Mason Rudolph, they said the Steelers had first-round grades on you, and you got drafted in the third round. You had like high praise upon you, and you got beat out by an undrafted rookie. And then this past season, we had the game against Detroit, a winless team. They didn't play like a winless team, but they was a winless team because they never finished the job. Mason Rudolph was on. He played all right, but he missed some throws. The game, all the blame on him because Mr. Johnson fumbled, Freiermuth fumbled, but he missed some throws in that game, and he missed some throws. Like the Ray McCloud one, that would have been touchdown. That would have been a nice touchdown. That would have been a touchdown. That probably would have helped us win the game. And he probably would have had 10 wins. But we still made the playoffs anyway. But still, we probably wouldn't be in that predicament. But he's got to see more from Mason Rudolph. So that's why those guys are ranked like that. So yeah, moving on to the next, we have number 27 and 26, and we have 25 and 24. At 27, we got Trey Lance. At 26, we got Taylor Heinicke. At 25, we got Trevor Lawrence. And at 24, we have Justin Fields. Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence are kind of neck and neck because they both have a lot of potential. Justin Fields, we've seen athleticism, how he can use athleticism in his game to overcome those woes of not being able to throw the ball perfectly. But we seen him use athleticism to get the pocket to move and to run. And just like the team wasn't really stable. People injured. Allen Robinson was injured in at the lineup and stuff. And then Mooney looked pretty cool, but the team was it was a stable team for him like to get started and stuff like that. But hopefully with a new coach and they bring some new pieces and stuff, they can get him going. David Montgomery's a nice running back too. He's pretty good. But Trevor Lawrence, yeah, the same thing for him. We've seen a little bit of his stuff. Seen him like drop dimes here and there. The last game of the season against the Colts, that's the Trevor Lawrence that we want to see. So hopefully with the new coach in the system, new coach in the system, give him a different system and give him some more. Maybe add another receiver on the outside. J.J. Chark was injured here and there, and Chenault he stepped up and played better. Marvin Jones played pretty well. It's pretty solid and stuff like that. But add another receiver to the mix. And Travis Etienne come back. You never know what can happen. They can get it going. Maybe a little bit. Add a little O-line. Maybe add another O-lineman and see how things go. But those guys got a lot of potential. They got a lot of upside. That's why I have them guys ranked right there. For Trey Lance, I still need to see more. We see like a little bit of glimpses here and there. You can see the potential a little bit, but I don't put him higher on the list coming into the season because I don't know if he's gonna be the starting quarterback. Now, for right now, he's the starting quarterback probably because it's reported that the 49ers are looking to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and the way Jimmy Garoppolo is saying that he let his team kind of like a farewell message. So it's kind of like basically like saying Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, but like Joe Montana, like today they said recently Joe Montana, Steve Young came out and said like Trey Lance not ready. He's not ready to start yet. It was from the 49ers sources. So I don't know. So I don't know if Trey Lance ready to start or not. I feel like it's like that year he had with the what's that school he went to? He went to the same school as Carson Wentz, I think, North Dakota, the little Bison or something like that. Where is it? What that school he went to? He didn't play that last season. He only played. I think he played one game that season. One game. And the season before that, he had a nice season. He played one game that season. Came this year. He played a little bit here and there. He looked on the Texan game. He looked all right like that, but you can still see that he's not ready. He's like a deer in headlights, something like that. Like he might make plays here and there, but it's like a deer in headlights. Some of the plays, I was like, why you throw that ball to that guy? Why you do that right there? He's not poised. Like he don't feel comfortable back there in the pocket. He don't feel comfortable in the offense. It feels like when you're like watching like some. I went back and watched everybody highlights and stuff. I seen his stuff too, of course. I watched some of his games. I had some of his players. I had some of the 49ers players on my fantasy team. But Trey Lance, I feel like he's not ready yet. And since Taylor HEINICKE is the reason he's at 26, because that's I feel like that's him. That's his ceiling. Like I don't like no disrespect, but I feel like that's his ceiling. Like there's a reason he was on the Panthers. He got kicked out. He was out the league. I think did he go to XFL or something like that? I think so. And he was all around. He came back and he played good. They gave him like a little no risk, no low risk, high reward type of deal. Like they gave him like I think like a 2-year, $5 million, something like that. So like he did all right. He's solid and nice. He like on the court, like need everything perfect, and he can help you get 10 wins maybe like around that. But like I think this is ceiling right here. This is him. He's a guy who will show some glimpses here and there, but I don't think he can carry a franchise. He's your franchise guy. Moving on to the next three, we have Davis Mills, Jared Goff, Jameis Winston. Davis Mills, the reason he's above these guys, I feel like coming to the season, because like he proved a lot. This is based off of last season too. So like, that's why he above Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. But Davis Mills proved a lot. He proved a lot last year. He was like no one expected that him to have a little success. Like they didn't win a lot of games, but no one expected him to have a little success with him throwing the ball like that. He came in, he was confident, he was poised in the pocket, and I just liked the way his play style was. He was like all the noise going on, and he just go out there and he just balling. They had the Deshaun Watson stuff, and Texans franchise basically falling and collapsing, and he's going out there balling and just going out there playing well. Another Tyrod Taylor project. Tyrod Taylor gets hurt. Like something happened. He get injured or something like that. He plays well and get hurt, and then the guy comes in behind. A rookie guy comes in playing well. But Davis Mills, and they said like there's some reports that the Texans want to build around Davis Mills. Brandon Cooks, another underrated receiver, 1,000 yards again. So they can add maybe some more O-linemen and add another receiver out there, and then shoot up the defense because I don't know how many draft picks they had because Bill O'Brien messed them up. He did like a sabotage on them, self-sabotage. But they can add some pieces like that around and maybe get a run game. I think like a run game is a young quarterback's best friend. You get a run game and he's already that confident playing like that. It can make him play even better. I don't know if they'll be a playoff team, but they can be a team that can compete and maybe at least win seven games. Like that might be like a large sample size for some, but as a starter, better than 2. So we'll see. And Jared Goff, I thought Jared Goff can play for the Detroit Lions. He didn't play that bad. It wasn't that bad. Even though they would have one of the worst records it wasn't that bad because like they was competitive and Jared Goff played well here and there, and I don't know if they're gonna win. I don't know if Jared Goff gonna be a long-term quarterback. He's just here because the trade to get off that Matthew Stafford contract, and he was trading Matthew Stafford over, and just get some draft picks and stuff. But I don't know if Jared Goff gonna be their guy. But Jared Goff could probably fit on a team that has like he one of those pieces like everything perfect. Just kind of like some other guys too. Everything perfect, he'd fit right in. And James Winston, he showed a lot of improvement last year of decision making, because we know he had the talent. We know he had the talent, he had the size, he had the arm strength. It's just like the decision making was his only problem. He showed better decision making last year working with Sean Payton, and I think he had 14 touchdowns to 4 interception ratio, and he had the Saints I think at 5-2 before he got injured. So he was playing well. So hopefully come back healthy. They had a video of him running yesterday. So hopefully come back healthy, and we'll see how the things go. Now moving on to the next 5 guys, we got Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Matt Ryan. Okay, Carson Wentz at 20. I picked Teddy Bridgewater. Like Carson Wentz and Teddy Bridgewater can go either way. I feel like I trust Teddy Bridgewater because Teddy Bridgewater likely chance of turning the ball over is less than Carson Wentz like a chance to turn the ball over. Now you might look at the stats and say Carson Wentz only had he had many interceptions. He had many fumbles. He had some fumbles here and there too. But if you watch some of those games, if the DBs could catch, the DBs that he was playing against could catch, he might have had 18 interceptions. He might have led the league in interceptions, 18, 19 interceptions. Because he was giving it to them. He was just, oh, here you go. They just wasn't catching them. Like there's a lot of games like you go back and watch and be like, this man Carson Wentz literally giving them interceptions. They just dropping them. And like it's a lot of I don't like Profile Focus like that because some of that stuff be like a little biased. Be like, how is this guy ranked higher than this guy? And like Myles Garrett being ranked higher than T.J. Watt. He do more. T.J. Watt literally was top 5 in pressure, top 10 in pressures, top 5 in tackle for losses, top 5 in forced fumbles, everything like that. So how he doing more than he is? So T.J. Watt is a sack machine. T.J. Watt doing more, but they don't like. They say they talk about the stats and they watch this stuff, but they don't though. So they basically like kind of a little biased, especially Tom Brady. They love Tom Brady a lot, but that's a story for a different time. But the turnover throws, I want to see the how many Carson Wentz had, because there was a lot of games that were like, man, this man is just not playing well. Like the run game did not work. Jonathan Taylor, it was not going. Like Carson Wentz could not lead them. Carson Wentz got a lot of talent. He got the size, he got the ability. It just, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Ever since that ACL injury, he has not been the same. He has not been the same. Like you might say like, well, he had like the coaches didn't believe him, the organization and the Eagles didn't believe him. He had receivers and stuff, but he just haven't been the same. He just haven't like shown us that like this is the guy, the number one pick, right? Number 2 pick. Like he just haven't been the same. And then Teddy Bridgewater, I feel like he's a little too hesitant sometimes in his play. But I feel like if you have a nice team around him, he probably have a better chance of helping you win than what's the name? Carson Wentz. But I think the Broncos probably, if they can get one of those quarterbacks they want to trade for, they can roll with Teddy Bridgewater and probably feel comfortable. Like we feel comfortable because he had a bad year. He had a great year. He had a bad year. He had like it was all right. It was solid. It was solid enough. Like you can live with that. Baker Mayfield, he's one of those guys that like they had a stat where they said if the Browns don't rush for 100 yards, Baker hasn't won a game, something like that. Some type of stat like that. So yeah, Baker Mayfield, I think that was the last season stuff. So Baker Mayfield really is relied upon the run attack, and I don't see him as a franchise quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback. I feel like he's good to a certain point. Like he's good to a certain point. He can help you. If everything's right around him, he can help you win to a certain point. But I don't see him as a guy that can lead you to the Super Bowl and lead you to victory. And you know what Jimmy G can do. Jimmy G, he's a guy that he knows his role. So like Baker Mayfield is a guy that like he's that same boat as Jimmy G. I paid Jimmy G above Baker Mayfield because Jimmy G knows his role and he knows his limits. Baker Mayfield think he can go beyond his limits. I know people say you don't have no limits and stuff like that, but Baker Mayfield try to do too much and try to prove that he like I can do this, I can do that, like that. You like see his play style. Yo, why he doing that for? Like just go with the plan. And Jimmy G is a guy who go with the plan. When Kyle Shanahan put out there, he goes with the plan and he invests in that role perfectly, and it makes him good. It makes him play well in close situations. He might not have the miraculous stats or the crazy numbers like that, and people people had high praise when we first came to the 49ers and he was on the Patriots and stuff, and now they're like, oh, he's just a game manager. I feel like he's more than a game manager a little bit because like he's a good leader because like he know how to invest into his role. He know the guys around him going to help lift him up when he like slack a little bit. But I like a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo because they like invest, like, you know, everybody invests to your role perfectly. Then, you know, you can win championships or make at least contend for some. And Jimmy G does that amazingly. And Matt Ryan, I put him above Jimmy G because Matt Ryan, he had an all right season last year. And I feel like if you replace him and put Matt Ryan on the 49ers, he probably did a little better, you know, more than Jimmy G. And Ryan is kind of declining a little bit because, you know, the Falcons team is declining a little bit, deteriorating. Their team is, I don't know what's going on. They don't have nothing. They have Calvin Ridley, but they don't really have nothing on the Falcons. So, but they have Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts was very good, 2,000 yards, but like they got to rebuild. So, yeah, Matt Ryan at 16. The next 5, we have Jalen Hurts at 15. We have Mac Jones at 14. We have Ryan Tannehill. We have Kirk Cousins at 13. We have Ryan Tannehill at 12. And then we have Dak Prescott at 11. Okay, I think that's more than 5, right? Yeah, that was 6. My bad. But Jalen Hurts, nice season. His first year starting, went out there, did what he was supposed to do, be a dual threat, and he had 21 touchdowns, and he had like 780 something rushing yards. He was out there, and he had 8 to 10 rushing touchdowns. I don't know the exact number. He might have had 10 rushing touchdowns, but he was out there playing well, and he left it to the playoffs. So they built around that. They'd be good. Mac Jones, same thing. Out there, played well, invested his role. Some games he only threw the ball 3 times and still won. But Mac Jones is a very good character, and you see him. He's he might not have nothing like dramatic, like, oh, he can do this dramatically and like that. But I feel like he's just right. Like he does a little bit of everything, a little bit of that type of stuff, like the short passes, the medium throws. His deep ball, all right. He's mobile too. He can get out the pocket. He can run. No, he run a little bit, not too much. But he can run a little bit here and there. But Mac Jones, I feel like the Patriots to keep him in his scheme, but Belichick stay his coach, he can groom him to being like elite level quarterback. Kirk Cousins. The reason I picked Kirk Cousins under Ryan Tannehill because Ryan Tannehill actually has success. Before Titans got Ryan Tannehill, it was all right. It was an all right team. They were like maybe they might go 8-8. No, now we got 17 games, but then they had 16. So they might go 8-8. They might go 9-7. Like they went 9-7 a lot. But when they got Ryan Tannehill, they shot up, and he like played better because like he was like more like Marcus Mariota probably is faster. Well, or Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota, I don't know who faster, but Marcus Mariota had like more like, you know, that RPO stuff. But Ryan Tannehill, I feel like he was a better thrower of the ball, so that's why it helped the Tennessee Titans uplift more. Kirk Cousins, he had a nice year last year, but it didn't accumulate to victory again. Kirk Cousins has shown this multiple times. Like he's good, he's talented, but he's just not. He don't have that clutch. He's just not clutch. It's like in situations like that, like to get his team in the playoffs, to like make a run or something like that. It's just like you've never seen it. I think he had 1 playoff game or 2 playoff games. He had one against the 49ers. And he had one against the Packers when he was with Washington. Sorry guys, I had some technical difficulties, but he beat he didn't beat nobody, but he went against the Packers. He was with Washington, and that playoff season goes so well. So Kirk Cousins doesn't have that clutch gene in him. He put some great numbers, and maybe if they, I haven't seen him on like a team like a complete team, but he did have a lot of weapons and stuff. So I don't know. So I couldn't pick Kirk Cousins up even higher above Ryan Tannehill. Because Ryan Tannehill been to the AFC Championship game. He's been through playoffs multiple times, and he has carried his team. Especially this last season when everybody went down for injuries. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, and Dak Prescott, I feel like he's number 11 because he borderline number 10 because he does less with more. He has all these weapons on offense. He has the defense and stuff, but he just didn't play well in the end of the stretch of the season, and then in the playoffs, he didn't play well. And like you was thinking that like last year what we seen from Dak Prescott, the year before last we seen from Dak Prescott, we was like, dang, Dak Prescott was putting those numbers up. I know he was playing behind and stuff, but he still was up in the Cowboys. He was playing nice. He had a good offense going, and you like he come back, and then you start seeing the Cowboys defense play like that. But okay, maybe they turn it on like that, and he kind of like he was in a like if you look at the numbers, you might say, no, he was not. But if you watch the games and look at the level of competition they was playing, you be like, okay, yeah, Dak was nice, but he just can win up the big games. He can win some of the big games in that season, and they paid him a lot of money. They paid him $75 million last year, and his contract is big. He got a big contract. So I think this year, I don't know if it's like 40-something mil. So it's a lot of money paying Dak. So you gotta come on, you gotta put up, shut up. The next guys, we have Kyler Murray. I mean, we have Derek Carr at number 10. We have Kyler Murray at number 9, Matthew Stafford at 8, and Russell Wilson at 7. The reason Derek Carr is in the top 10 because I feel like Derek Carr, he does the opposite of what Dak Prescott does. He does more with less. He had the situation with the coach. It felt like that was like time ago, but like he had the situation with John Gruden. He had the situation with Henry Ruggs. Somebody on a cornerback, something happened to him too, a cornerback and stuff. All this stuff that's happening, and injuries to Josh Jacobs, injuries to Darren Waller, O-line collapsing, falling down and stuff. And he still found a way to be a great leader and will his team with his arm talent. He had nice talent. He got a lot of arm like that. So I feel like he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. And you look at the numbers and might say, well, his numbers are all right. They solid. They all right. But if you actually watch the games and look at those plays he made and those comebacks he had to do with the less, like, people injured and stuff. And Zay Jones stepped up a lot too. He got to make plays. Sometimes you got to find different guys. When guys go down, you got to find somebody else who's going to step up and make that play. And Derek Carr, he willed his team to victory multiple times. He played hard, and there's a lot of great victories he had. And he made a lot of great plays. He showed a lot of poise and a lot of he showed great leadership. Because some people don't want all that pressure on them. They had a lot of stuff going on. They had a lot of pressure. A lot of things happened. Outside noise. They muted the outside noise. Stayed focused, and he led us into the playoffs. They were one play away from winning the playoff game, but he got them there. And that goes a long way. Especially with the teammates, they remember that, and they might run through a wall for Derek Carr, because Derek Carr was he seemed like a great teammate actually. Kyler Murray, you know what Kyler Murray does. Dual threat. Matthew Stafford, amazing arm talent. You got the weapons around him and stuff now too. And he has a team that winning culture. He's gonna be good too. And Russell Wilson, he's always borderline MVP. He always start off MVP candidate like when week 1 to week 9, but then sometimes he fall off a little bit. But I don't know why he always does that. But I want to see Russell Wilson at least get one MVP though before he retire, which is a long time from now probably. But I want to see him get one MVP at least. Okay, moving on to the next 3. We have Lamar Jackson at 6, Joe Burrow at 5, and Justin Herbert at 4. Now, these guys are bracketed because it can go either way. If you it depends on what you like. If you like dual threat, you put Lamar Jackson at number 4. If you like superior arm talent, you put Justin Herbert at number, what's the name? Okay, guys, like I was saying before I got really interrupted by some people outside the room, Justin Herbert, you want superior arm talent, you Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is a guy who can put the ball on the money, put the ball anywhere. And then Joe Burrow is a guy who's an amazing decision maker, who got great accuracy. You get a guy like that, so it can go either way. So those quarterbacks right there, those guys right there can do all. So I got them bracketed in this that bracket because you can go either way. But I can't pit one in front of the other. That's why they all bracket. So on my list right now, I got it right here. I got it set like that. That's the way I wrote it. But it can go either way. So those guys right there gonna be willing the way for a long time, especially in the AFC and the NFL in general. And I hope my Steelers add somebody like that too to our roster so we can be able to go against those guys. But those guys are going to be nice for a long time. Now moving on to the last 3. We have Aaron Rodgers at number 3. Josh Allen number 2. And number 1 was easy for me to do. When I first made the list, I was like Patrick Mahomes number 1. People might say that, oh, he declined it. And you look at because he set the bar so high. When you set the bar so high, I mean, when you don't perform to the level. He didn't do 50 touchdowns his first year starting. 50 touchdowns. His second year, what was it I think he got injured a little bit. It was 26, 27 touchdowns. And then recently he threw 30-something. And people were like, oh, he declining. I'm declining for throwing 30-something, 35-plus touchdowns and 45-plus yards. I'm declining because my bar is so high. Come on, guys. Y'all got to stop that notion that Mahomes is declining. He's not declining. And nobody's catching up to him. Nobody's catching up to, the league catching up to him when they, figuring him out. None of that stuff happening. But Mahomes is putting up monster numbers, amazing numbers we've never seen before. And that's why he's number 1. That's why he's the number 1 quarterback. He's been number 1 quarterback for a while. But Josh Allen number 2, and he's close to Mahomes. He's up there. He getting up there too. They got some crazy arm talent. Josh Allen, and he's 6'5", 240 pounds. He can run. He can throw and put the ball anywhere. And it's just an unfair quarterback. He can see over you, see over the line and stuff like that. He can put the ball because he has a strong arm. He can probably throw the ball 70 yards off his back foot probably. Him and Mahomes got some crazy arm talent. And the reason I put him above Aaron Rodgers because at the moment I would take him over Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is nice, of course, but I feel like when you hit the back-to-back MVPs, that's amazing. But I feel like the performances in the playoffs of the recent years, and like not being able to will his team like he did before in the past. Like not being able to do that of recently. Like past 5 years, he hasn't been able to do that. Like he got to the AFC Championship games and like, oh, people be like just proclaim like the best story of football. You shouldn't have no problem like that. You can put the what was it 13? They lost 13-10 against the 49ers. You can put up more than 13 points. Like you got to be able to make those plays, make stuff happen. So this is the list. This is the list right here. We got Mahomes at number 1, Josh Allen number 2, and Aaron Rodgers number 3. That's the top 3 quarterbacks. So if you like this list, leave a like. If you don't like it, dislike it. Leave feedback in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.